Good evening, and I welcome you students. What we are doing, question answer sessions, MCQ questions for the coming papers of the 9th class, Science, term 1, as it is split up into two terms, 1 and 2. Most of the questions you can see are MCQ as per the requirement. So before we begin a session, there is a small amount of exercise to relax ourselves, to release stress, tension, and also to release the negative energy from the mind so that we can focus, concentrate. Sit comfortably. We will begin with Bhastrika. You will inhale, exhale 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come back. Shoulder rotation. Free your shoulders. Free shoulders. 1, 3, 4, 5. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Release the stress from the neck. Neck rotation. 1, 2. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Give a clockwise rotation 3 times and anti-clockwise 3 times. Half inhale, half exhale. 1, 2, 3. Reverse anti-clockwise. Half inhale and half exhale. Okay, come back. Open and close your hands, fingers of the hands. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, tap your feet on the ground, tap your feet on the ground, tap your feet on the ground. Okay, come back, come back. Let us do a breathing exercise to relax our mind. Breathing exercises are very good to relax the mind and to release the stress from the mind. Any stress, you have been working the whole day, so you are stressed, exhausted. Keep the mind should be clear, mind should be relaxed, and mind should be quietened when we do our studies. Therefore, what will we do? We will do a breathing technique. What we will do in this, that we will close our eyes and we will breathe in and hold for, breathe in, count of 5, and then hold for 3, and then release 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like this, we will do it. Close your eyes, close your eyes. Observe your breath, observe your breath. Inhale deeply for the count of 5. Hold for the count of 3. And exhale, exhale slowly. Second round. Inhale as deeply as possible. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Exhale slowly. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Slowly. Come back. Bring all your attention on your breath. Bring all your attention on your breath. Focus on your breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Rub your 2 palms and heat energy, healing energy, a type of field of the magnet produced. Put it on your face. Keep inhaling, exhaling. Gentle massage, forehead, eyes, nose, chin, neck, head. Come back, attitude of gratitude. Gratitude is the most important thing in our world. We are thankful to the God, thankful to the universe for all the good things which we have. All right, you can open your eyes with smiles. 1, 2, 3, come back. All right, students, we are back now. Our main purpose is to improve and increase your energy levels. Higher the energy, more is the learning. If our energy is falling down, what happens? We won't be able to learn anything, and we won't be able to solve and answer question because our energy levels are low. Second, whenever we are starting, we are setting up an intention. Our intention is to do whatever we want to do. That is, our intention is to solve questions here. So we will put all our focus, all concentration, attention on the questions. Think about it, the choices which are given, and what is the right answer. Number two, what we do, students, when we will do MCQ question, we'll try to learn as much as possible. This will give us a good revision of the chapter before the exams, so that the questions will be changed. The questions may not be the same, there will be change, but this is the way the questions are asked, and we should be prepared to answer any question. So unless we pay attention, unless we focus, we cannot answer the question. There is no mugging or rattabaji. That is over. We have to think before we answer the question. If we don't understand a question, we will not be able to answer the question. It is essential that we understand the question very clearly, and then it will take less time in answering the questions. All right, students. So let us see what we are going to do. Session begins. Session begins. Okay, student, question number 1 is coming on the screen. Question 1. What is the question? Let me use this so that my sound becomes more clear to all of you. All right, students. Okay. Now, students, first question on the screen. Which of the following will show Tyndall effect? First, can you tell me, student, what is Tyndall effect?
Yes, sir. The scattering of beam of light by the particles of suspension or colloid, which makes the path of light visible.
Tyndall effect. You know, the scattering of light by the particles, and there is a condition that the certain size should be there in order to show the Tyndall effect. You know that why the sky is blue. And sky is blue also due to the scattering of light. The blue color is scattered most, and that's what we see in the sky. So we are aware of certain things already, which we experience in everyday life. So Tyndall effect is based on scattering of light by the particles. The particles scatter light. Scattering of light. Okay. And there are conditions which we will study in the classes coming. What are the conditions to show Tyndall effect? Now, what are the types of solutions you have studied? What type of solution you have studied? How many type of solutions you studied?
3.
True. And what others?
Suspension and colloidal.
Colloidal solution. Colloidal solution and suspension, student. Do the true solution show Tyndall effect?
No, sir.
No, sir. What about colloids?
Yes, sir.
Colloids show?
Yes, sir.
Scattering of light. Okay, then we are given 4 choices here, student. Star solution, sodium chloride solution, copper sulfate solution, sugar solution. Now, what is our answer here? How do we answer the question, students?
Option A, starch solution.
So starch solution will show Tyndall effect. Why starch solution shows Tyndall effect?
Because, sir, it is suspension.
Suspension? Starch solution is not a suspension. It is a colloid. It is a colloidal solution, students. So sodium chloride, what type of solution is this? This is a true solution. Particle size is very small here. The size of the particle is too small. No scattering takes place. This is also a true solution. And this is also a true solution, students. So the only answer is a starch solution. Answer is A, starch solution. Shows Tyndall effect. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, student, that is the correct answer. All right, let's move to the next question. Boron, silicon, germanium, etc. are. Now, what type of what you studied the properties of the elements when we studied the properties of the elements? I am saying classification of the elements now. The elements were classified on what basis? Classification of elements. But they said there are metals, non-metals, and
Metalloid.
metals. And in the periodic table, students, we have shown you which elements are metals. And based on their properties, we can classify. We have given the properties of metals, physical and chemical. What type of properties we gave you? Physical and chemical, students. What are some of the physical properties of metals?
Metals are lustrous, they are malleable, they are ductile, and they are good conductors of heat and electricity.
No, non-metals, what do you find? Are opposite to that, brittle and all that. Metalloids are, what are metalloids?
Metalloids consist of properties of both metals and non-metals.
Both metal. They are having some properties of metal, some non-metal. So here he is saying boron, silicon, and germanium. Tell me, are they metals, students?
No, sir.
They are not metals. Are they non-metals?
No, sir.
Are they metalloids?
Yes, sir.
All right, that is the correct answer. None of the above. That is also not true. All right, so here our purpose is to revise, student, the metal, non-metals, metalloids, and their physical and chemical properties which are given. So we can easily then determine in the also in the periodic table, you will see where are the metals left hand side and right hand side. As you move to the right side, you see non-metals. At the same time, in between, you will see some elements which are metalloids, which have properties of metals as well as non-metals in between the two. Okay, very good. Next question, the separation of two immiscible liquids by separating funnel. By separating funnel. Do you know what is a separating funnel, students?
Yes, sir.
What is the separating funnel?
Sir, it is used to separate two immiscible liquids.
Here, what you have? So you are saying there are two immiscible liquids. What do we have, students? Two immiscible liquids. One liquid is this, another liquid is this. These two liquids are immiscible. What do you have? Immiscible. What it means, immiscible?
They are not able to mix together.
They are not soluble in each other. So if there are two immiscible liquids, they will form two separate layers. Separate layer. That is what you are saying. You have layer 1 and you have layer 2, students. And then you can separate the two. Is it true?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, what is the question here? We already know. The difference is the two immiscible liquids by separating funnel, the difference in density, difference in their color, difference in melting point, difference in boiling point. So what is the correct answer here, students?
Option A, difference in their densities.
Difference in the density. So what happens if their densities are different?
Sir, heavier density will sink first and the lighter density will float.
Okay. So it is based on the density. This has higher density. That will be at the bottom, and this has a lower density. So because the densities are different, so we can easily separate them. Remove first this, then this liquid will come. Do you have any examples of the separation? Which liquids are separated by this method?
Oil and water.
Oil and water, student. They can be separated by separating funnel. Which floats, which has a more density, oil or water?
Water.
Okay. So by this way, we can separate a mixture of oil and water by using separating funnel. Okay, that is the correct answer. Let us move to the next. Here is a question for you students. The components of a solution are. What is a solution, students? What is a solution? What have you studied about solution?
A solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances.
It is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. ठीक है, homogeneous mixture of two or more substances. Examples of solution. You are aware of some examples of solutions?
Yes, sir.
What are those?
Sugar solution and tincture of iodine.
You are aware of lemonade. You have seen lemonade. You are using aerated drinks like soda water and all that. Okay, now here the components. What are the components of a solution? How a solution is made, student? How a solution is made? What are the components of solution?
Solute and solvent.
You have a solvent and you have solute. Solute is dispersed in the solvent. Solvent and solute. So what is the correct answer? Dispersed particles and solvent. Solute and solvent. Okay, that is the correct answer. Here that will be in colloids, solute and dispersed medium. So what is the solute, student?
Sir, it is a component of solution which gets dissolved into another component.
Solvent. And usually this is present in smaller amount. This is present in larger amount. That we know the definition of solute and solvent. Okay? If you make a salt solution, you put some salt in water. Water is the solvent. Salt is the solute. Okay, that is the good information. Next we are coming, student. Brass. Now, first of all, what is a brass, student? What is a brass?
It is an alloy.
It is an alloy. Alloys are what? What are alloys?
Solid solutions.
Homogeneous solid solutions. Alloys are, it is a solid solution. So it must be made up of more than one element. So what is the answer here? The brass is what, student? What is
Copper
brass?
and zinc.
Brass, copper and zinc is the correct answer. Copper plus Zn. Copper plus Zn, zinc. Copper and zinc. All right, there are some choices have been given, so we have to learn, student, because these are all examples of alloys. When you have gold and copper, you know that jewelers used in order to make the jewelry, they are mixing silver in gold or something like that in order to make it possible to make the jewelry. Okay. Next question is coming on the screen, student. Which of the following statement is correct? Now try to read the question carefully. Sometimes they say incorrect. Question is correct. Which of the following statement is correct? So in this case, students, read the choices very carefully. Both burning of paper and cooking of food are examples of physical change. Is that correct statement?
No, sir.
It is false. Okay. Both burning of wood and cooking of food are examples of chemical change.
Sir, this is true.
Correct. This is a true statement. Sometimes they may ask you, but they give a question in the form of false and true statement. Okay. Burning of paper is a physical change and cooking of food is a chemical change.
Sir, this is false.
Okay, wrong. False. Burning a paper is a chemical change and cooking of food is a physical change.
Sir, this is
This statement is wrong. Okay, wrong. And the correct answer is A. Okay, answer A.
sir, option B.
Okay, sorry. Option B. Correct answer is option B. Both burning of wood. You know, when wood will be burnt, then you will get a smoke, carbon dioxide, etc. And cooking of food, what will happen? Chemical changes will take place. They are both examples of chemical change. Very good. Next question is coming, student. Which of the following is a liquid metal? Now, what are metals? Mostly solid, liquid, or gases?
Solid.
Metals are solids. But are there any exceptions?
Yes, sir.
What are the exceptions?
Mercury.
Mercury is a metal, but liquid. Mercury is a metal, but liquid. We learned it when we studied the chapter. So what is the answer? Which of the following is a liquid metal? Copper, is it a liquid?
No, sir.
Mercury?
Yes, sir.
Bromine?
No, no, sir.
What
Sir,
is
it is liquid, but it is non-metal.
Yes, bromine is liquid, but non-metal. Okay, very good. We write Br2 liquid. Silver?
No, sir.
Solid. No, this is solid. Okay, very good. Full information we have. And then that is the correct answer. Correct answer. So we have to learn each and everything. Questions would be changed in the paper. We have to be careful, students. The next question are coming on the screen, student. The properties of mixture are. Properties of the mixture are, students. What is a mixture?
Mixture consists of two or more pure substance.
Okay, I will sip water and say, water, heal me. Water is a great healer. Water gives me energy. So I use water. Mixtures are?
Sir, option C, similar.
The properties of mixture are similar. You are saying similar?
Yes.
From its components. Why they are similar?
Because, sir, they are just mixed together and no new substance is formed.
Yes, if I mix two things, if I have oxygen gas and nitrogen gas, student, it is a mixture. And here the properties of oxygen gas and the nitrogen gas, we can observe the properties of mixture are similar to the properties of the components, because no new compound has been formed, no chemical reaction has taken place. That is the correct answer. Okay. The process of cooling a hot concentrated solution of substance to obtain a crystal is called. What we are doing in this case, student, where did we use this method for? What it was used for?
Sir, to separate the solute from solvent.
This is a process which are used for purification of the solid substances. What is this? What will happen? What is the answer? The process. Fractional distillation, no. Distillation, no. Chromatography, no. Crystallization, yes. What is fractionation distillation?
Sir, this process is used to separate two miscible liquids whose temperature is below 25 degrees. Kelvin.
Difference in boiling point is below 25 degrees. So this is used for separation of miscible liquids whose boiling points are less than 25 Kelvin. Difference in boiling points. What is distillation?
Sir, it is also used to separate two miscible liquids.
Whose boiling points difference is large. What is chromatography?
It is used to separate various pigments.
Separation of dyes, you have seen. Colored pigments. Okay. So we must learn everything, each and everything before we answer a question, students. Next question is coming. An example of colloid, student. Again, colloids are very important. There will be a lot of questions in the colloids. In the book, you have studied different type of colloids, examples of the colloids. So what are different colloids and their examples which you studied in the book also. There is a table, I think they have given in the book about the common type of colloids. You have seen what type of colloid, student? Aerosols, emulsions, foams, gel, solid salts. They were different type of colloids like fog, cloud, smoke, rubber, jelly, gemstone. So many things we talked about. Did we talk of? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
In our video lectures, we have explained all this. Okay. So in this case, student, what is our answer?
Milk.
Sugar solution, is it a colloid?
No, sir.
No, it is a solution. Milk,
Yes, sir.
it is a colloid of. What happens in milk? Which particles are there? There is a dispersed phase and dispersion medium. What we have in a colloid, there you will have a dispersed phase and dispersion medium always. So there will be a dispersed phase and dispersion medium, and then it will give rise to colloids. Milk is also called emulsion. Both are liquids. In the case of this, dispersed phase is water and dispersion medium is also fat, which is liquid. In the case of milk, oxygen, no, water is a compound. And oxygen, you already know, is a molecule. So element, all right, the only answer is B. Milk is colloid. I'm writing because this question even has been asked in 12th class chemistry. See, important. How important is everything? As I said that our question answer, our notes are important. They will continue in the up to college level, university level. If you are very careful, you will keep them and keep the video lectures with you anytime. You will see even in higher classes, this will be used. There will be need of that. By the time you forget, you can open the YouTube and observe it. Next question is coming, students. Which of the following statement is true about the compounds? So what is the definition of a compound then? What is a compound, student?
Compound consists of two or more elements.
That's all only. Something more than that. Two or more elements combined in a
fixed proportion.
Two or more elements combined in a fixed proportion. So what is H2O? Is it element, mixture, or a compound?
Compound.
Carbon dioxide. All these we are giving examples of the compounds. In this, there is a fixed proportion of hydrogen and oxygen by mass. You know what is the ratio by mass? 1:8 is the ratio by mass. Okay, let us see what is the question here. Which of the following statement true about the compounds? Compound is homogeneous and have fixed composition. Compound is heterogeneous, have fixed. Compound is heterogeneous. Compound is heterogeneous and has no fixed composition. What is the correct answer?
Sir, option A.
Okay. So fixed composition was there in 3 of them. Only 2 of them. But one is homogeneous and heterogeneous. So these are not true. This is already bad answers. But only 2 were left. One was having homogeneous. So this is the correct answer. This is the correct answer. Therefore, unless I know it, student, I cannot answer a question. As I say, there is no mugging involved in the coming examinations. You should learn science. You should be able to understand every concept very clearly. Answers will become very, very easy for you students. Question number 12 is on the screen. Which of these following statement is not correct? Now notice the important point here. Not correct. What is the question? A compound is a pure substance. Is it correct or incorrect?
Sir, this is correct.
Correct. Compound is homogeneous in nature.
Sir, this is correct.
This is correct. Compound always contains 2 or more elements.
Sir, correct.
Correct. Compound can be separated into elements by physical process.
Sir, this is incorrect.
Not correct. Why it is not correct, student?
Because, sir, since they are completely mixed together, they can only be separated by chemical processes.
They have formed a compound and there is a definite amount of bonding present in them. It is not possible to separate them by physical methods, by physical means like filtration or sublimation or whatever methods you studied for separation. So they can be they cannot be separated, cannot be separated by the physical methods. We learned it. All right, therefore answer is D, correct answer. Next question is coming, student. The cause of Brownian movement. First, let me know what is a Brownian movement, student. What is a Brownian movement? What is a Brownian movement?
Sir, I think Brownian movement particles just move.
In a solution, there is a zigzag motion of the particles. This particle is here moving, moving, moving. So this type of motion, what do you see? Zigzag motion of the particle. Particles are moving inside the dispersed phase in a zigzag manner. Brownian was a scientist who discovered this, a biologist who discovered this. That is the name to honor him, Brownian movement. What are the possible answers here? Attractive forces between particles of dispersed phase and dispersion medium. Impact of molecules of dispersion medium on colloidal particle. Heat changes in liquid state. Convection currents. What do you think is happening in this case, students?
Sir, option A.
This is a solution, for example. Solution inside that we are observing this. Option A is wrong. If there is an attractive force between the two, then what will happen? Will they move like this? No. Then they will be attracted. That is not correct answer. Then what is the correct answer, students? Heat changes in liquid state, nothing is happening. Where is the heat change? There are no convection currents here. Then what is the possible? The answer is left. Impact of molecule. That particles of dispersion medium, they are bombarding the particles of colloidal particles. Impact of the molecules of dispersion medium on colloidal particles, That is the correct answer. This is the correct answer. All right. Next question is coming. Colloidal particles can normally be seen by electron microscope, naked eye, telescope, ordinary microscope. Now, what do you think would be the answer here? Can our eyes see the colloidal particle? First question is this.
No, sir.
I cannot see it. Normally, he's saying, normally, then, okay. Electron microscope is a very powerful machine which is used for you see, seeing very small particles, size of the atoms. So normally this is also not the correct answer. Then what is the correct answer here, students?
Ordinary microscope.
Ordinary microscope. Telescopes are used for what purpose? This is the correct answer. Ordinary microscope, students. Answer C. Because the range of the colloidal particle, what is the size of the colloidal particles?
Sir, they are between 1 nanometer to 100.
If their size is of this range, it can be seen by ordinary telescope. What are telescope used for? They have lenses. They are used to see the distant. Astronomy, in astronomy they are using stars and sky. How you are observing them? You have heard about Galileo telescope. Okay, so the only answer here is C. Answer is C, ordinary microscope. Okay. Next question is coming on the screen, student. A coffee filter is used to separate coffee liquid from ground. This is an example of. Have you seen coffee filter? Liquid from, what is this example of? Sublimation, distillation, filtration, evaporation. What is our answer, students?
Filtration.
Sublimation, there is no sublimation. Distillation, no. Evaporation, no. Only thing, filtration. Yes, filtration is happening. How you filter? You know what is filtration, student? What is the purpose of filtration? You already know, student. Funnel. What you do in filtration? You have a filter paper. And when you pour this liquid, particles, the filter coffee particles will remain, and what will drip, student? The liquid. This is called the filtrate. So filtration is the right answer. Our answer is C, filtration. Okay. Which of the following show Tyndall? Again and again, he talks a lot about this. Is very important effect, and it will be asked in 12th class also. In other classes also, 11, 12, they will ask what is Tyndall effect. So this must be read very clearly, student. Tyndall effect. What is our answer to question number 16?
Sir, option B, milk and starch solution.
We already told you this is a true solution. This is not correct. This is not correct. Milk, starch, they are examples of colloids. They are examples of student colloids, and colloids have a particle size which will show, they will exhibit, they will show Tyndall effect. Therefore, answer is B. Answer is B is the correct answer, students. Again, so many questions on colloidal solution. You already answered that. Kerosene oil and water, are they colloidal?
No, sir.
Chalk powder is a suspension. It is a suspension. These two liquids are immiscible. Copper sulfate, no. Star solution, yes, is a colloid. Answer A. Starch solution, we are talking again and again, is a colloidal solution. Very important question because it is repeated so many times. When a question is repeated so many times, what it means to a student, it is important. Which of the following is not a compound? What is a compound, student? Again, you learned the definition of a compound, which will
Sir,
satisfy.
yes, sir.
What is a compound?
Sir, it is a substance which consists of two or more elements in fixed proportion.
Okay, common salt is a compound, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Is a compound?
No, sir, no.
Common salt is not a compound. Common salt is not a compound. That is the answer.
Sir, this is a compound.
Common salt is a compound. You already know the formula of this NaCl. You are already using it at home. What about water?
Yes, sir, this is a compound.
Compound. What about iron filings?
No, sir, this is not a compound.
If I say iron, iron filings has only iron. What is it made? It is a iron elements. What is copper sulfate?
Sir, this is a compound.
CuSO4. This is a compound. What is our answer then?
Option C.
Answer is C. Iron filings is not a compound. Okay. When a beam is flight is passed through a solution, it gets what is the correct answer? True solution, if you pass light, reflected, absorbed, scattered, path of light does not visible. What is our answer here, students?
Sir, option D. Path of light doesn't exist.
Okay, that is what we talked of, the Tyndall effect. True solution does not exhibit. True solution does not show Tyndall effect. This is important point, student. The correct answer is D. Path of light does not visible. Does not visible. All right. Let us move to the next question, student. Camphor can be purified by. Camphor can be purified by distillation, filtration, Sedimentation, sublimation. What
Sublimation.
Camphor undergoes sublimation?
Yes, sir.
Sublimation. Therefore, camphor can be separated by no. Only answer is yes. Answer is D. Sublimation. Okay. Every explanation must be known to us when we answer the question. This is very important, student. Carbon burns in oxygen to form carbon dioxide. The properties of carbon dioxide. What is happening? Carbon plus oxygen gives a CO2. Okay. What are the four choices, students? Similar to oxygen, similar to carbon, totally different from both carbon and oxygen, much similar to both carbon and oxygen. What is our answer?
Option C. Totally different
So
from.
no, it is a compound. It is a chemical change. A new compound has been formed. These are from elements. You are getting the formation of a compound. Totally different, totally different. That is the correct answer. No. So answer is C. So the properties of carbon dioxide are totally different from properties of carbon dioxide are totally different from both carbon and oxygen because a compound has been formed. Okay. Next question. Which of the following colloid is a gel? Various types of colloids. A table has been given in the book. Table is given in the book, student. Gel. What is a gel, student?
Sir, it is a type of colloid.
Colloid. Colloids are made up of what? Dispersed phase and dispersion medium. And a gel, student. Gel, what happens? In a gel, dispersion medium, dispersed phase. What is dispersed phase and dispersion medium? This dispersed phase is liquid and dispersing medium is solid. That forms a gel. That forms a gel, students. So what is the correct answer?
Jellies.
Jelly, you are aware of the jellies. We are eating jellies. Student, jellies have dispersed phase. Dispersed phase is liquid and medium dispersion medium is solid. Liquid in solid. Liquid in solid. Jellies. Answer B. Jellies. Jellies is a gel. Is a gel. Okay. Next question, student. Which of the following is a heterogeneous mixture? There are two types of mixtures you studied, student. Mixtures. Homogeneous and heterogeneous. What is the difference between the two types of mixtures?
Sir, in
What is
homogeneous mixtures, the substances are completely mixed together and no new substances.
No, no, sir.
Ma'am, answer, it is indistinguishable.
Composition, there is a composition, homogeneous mixture means what? Composition is same throughout. They have the same composition or a uniform composition throughout. In heterogeneous, what happens? Their composition is not same throughout. Non-uniform composition. Now, what is the correct answer here?
Option C.
Let us see air. What is air?
Homogeneous mixture.
Air is homogeneous mixture of gases. This is not the correct answer. Brass.
Homogeneous mixture.
Homogeneous solid solution. What we call it as alloy. What about iodized salt?
Heterogeneous mixture.
Heterogeneous mixture. Still, they are all examples of alloy, student. This is not the correct answer. Therefore, correct answer is C. Iodized salt is a heterogeneous mixture. Clear?
Yes, sir.
All right, student. Next question, student. Which of the following is not a compound? Again, definition of a compound should be known, then we can answer the question. What is the correct answer?
Sir, chalk.
Sulfur dioxide, what is this?
Compound.
Compound. Chalk, not a compound. It is made, contains many more than one substance. It is not pure. It is not pure, student. It's a mixture. Lead.
Compound.
Lead is a compound. Lead is not a compound. Element. Then this is also not the answer. This is also not the. What is sulfuric acid? What is sulfuric acid? H2SO4. It is a compound. Therefore, our answer is B. Chalk is not compound. Okay.
Yes.
All right, that is the correct answer. Another question is coming on the screen, student. Which of the following statement is not true? Not true. So you have 4 choices. Before you answer the question, read every statement carefully. You read the statements very carefully before you answer the question. Which of the following statement is not true? Solubility of gases in liquid decreases on increasing the temperature. Is it true?
No, sir.
No, sir. Then you are getting 0 marks. And this is true. The solubility of solid liquids remain unaffected by changes in pressure. Changes in pressure. Solids are not affected by pressure much. Okay. Solubility of solids in liquid increases on increasing the temperature. Solubility of solids in liquids. This is also true. Solubility of gas in liquid increases on. This is not correct. Not true. So the answer for this is D, student. This statement is not true. So this ends up the question answer sessions. You get 23 out of 25 students. Okay, that's a good performance. Good performance. Well done. And you continue with your hard work. And this ends up the quiz contest here, quiz session, question answer session, as well as a revision of the topic of is matter around us pure. How was the session?
It was very good.
So you find it amazing. This will be uploaded in the YouTube, and we would ask you that the channel is subscribed and press a button that you will get notifications, as well as you will ask your friends to subscribe this channel and forward our videos to your friends. You are observing that how much hard work it requires to create a quiz. It takes me more than 2 days to make a quiz, and if it doesn't go to more and more students, then naturally my hard work is not reciprocated. Therefore, I would say, student, you should forward my videos to as many friends as possible. More and more students can take benefit, and this gives a motivation to us to work more and more for you, so that we keep on bringing more and better questions, answers, which can help you for various exams up to 12th as well as in college level. Okay, then I see you in my next class.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.